This is a video for families who've recently experienced the loss of a baby. My name is Nada Hawkins, and I'm a registered nurse who's had the immense privilege of taking this journey with other families just like yours in my practice. I want to take this time to highlight some of the things that are going to happen in the next days so that you can be best prepared for them physically and emotionally. One of the things that women are sometimes surprised about if their baby has passed away before their baby is born is that after they give birth to their baby, their milk is still going to come in. And so it isn't uncommon for me to meet families who didn't know that their milk was going to come in, and it was quite traumatic that they didn't know that would happen. So anytime that a placenta is delivered, the body hopes that baby has made it through delivery and milk will come in. So anytime that a placenta is delivered, your body will remain hopeful. And so 3 to 5 days after you've given birth, your milk is going to come in. And it's good to have an idea of what you're going to do when that time comes, because our biggest thing is that we don't want you to be surprised. Surprises are very hard on the nervous system, and you've had enough surprises in these last few days. So some things to think about as your milk comes in, and what other families have found helpful, is to know that it is an option to donate your milk. And so what that would look like is you would collect your milk, freeze it, and then contact your breast milk bank, and they would lead you through that process of donating after the loss of your baby. Women who've done this have found it very impactful because the milk that is donated typically goes to the most vulnerable babies who it would have the greatest impact on. So here in Canada, often when mums donate milk, that milk is sent to the NICU babies who it is life-changing for. And so for some mums, it's a way of honoring their baby by giving their milk to another baby. One thing to know about that is that there's usually a minimum volume that you'll need to collect, and that's different at every milk bank. But I just want you to be aware of that, so that if you've collected maybe 5 or 10 ounces and then decided to stop, that might not be able to be donated. It doesn't mean that it wasn't meaningful. It just means that they typically have a threshold that they're wanting for ounces in order to donate. Some mums harvest their milk and don't donate it, and that is okay too. You are allowed to do whichever of these options is the best for you. And so mums will sometimes just go in the shower and hand express until that milk lets down and just let that milk pour out of their body. There is hormonal reasons why this can be helpful, because when the milk flows, what happens is that oxytocin is released from our pituitary, and oxytocin is a settling hormone for our nervous systems. And so there are mums who have said that it was kind of a light in their storm to be able to let their milk flow, and that helped them to feel more stable after. There also are mums who makes the most sense to stop the milk production as soon as possible. And for those mums, what I want you to know is that we don't want you to be uncomfortable through this. You might read that like you should bind your breasts or not harvest any milk, because if you harvest any milk, it's going to make it go on longer. But in reality, as long as the breasts feel comfortably full, they're going to message the brain to stop milk production. So I just think that with everything you have already going on, I don't want you to be very, very uncomfortable to / painful as this milk comes in. If you choose to hand express or pump just a tiny bit off until you're comfortably full, know that that messaging to the brain is still going to help. Women have also told me who've decided that they would like to have the shortest time possible of their milk in is that cabbage leaves, cold cabbage leaves, were very helpful. I do also want to just touch on a few things nervous system wise that you can do as your body brings this milk in, and in the next few days as you are going through this, to maybe have some comfort and some soothing to your nervous system. One of them is to get a 10-pound bag of rice and to hold it on your lap. To get some weight onto your thighs is going to help your system feel a little bit less outside itself. Another thing that we always like to do for mums is to help them to remember to get some heat on their lower back. When we can warm the kidneys, it can help soothe the nervous system even just a tiny bit. So those are a couple things to kind of keep in mind. I also want to address in this video that there are mummies who lose their babies who already were breastfeeding, and what happens then. So again, the messaging is that donation is an option, but that your body is always going to be primed to feed your baby, so your milk is going to continue to come. And what I would want you to know is that it's most important, again, that you don't tolerate pain simply to stop milk production sooner. Milk is going to stop being produced simply by your breast feeling comfortably full. So feel free to hand express, feel free to pump off a little bit. The cabbage leaves are also a good option for you guys as mums in this group to halt lactation. So these are hard videos to make because I wish that I could physically be there with you and listen to your story and hear your story.